Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a video for you following up on a wrong that has recently been righted for this watch on my wrist. But first off, before I go any further, I got to let you know that the half link in question here was sent to me by Uncle Seiko directly. I actually reached out to them, said, hey, when's this going to be available? They recognized the name, said, oh my God, you want to check one out? I said, absolutely I do. I told them, as always, and talking about the good, the great, the bad, the ugly of this single piece of metal, and nonetheless, we do have to assume that this is the very best quality controlled $30 contiguous chunk of metal ever, but I'm going to do my best not to let that affect the nature or the quality of my review. There you go. Next thing, why does this need to be the case? Well, it doesn't, right? Had Tudor done their jobs, this wouldn't need to be an issue at all, right? And I have a whole video on why half links are not optional on watches, right? If you are selling a luxury watch, you need to sell the material required to make it fit, and that includes things like a toolless quick adjust clasp, or at the very least a quick adjust clasp with more than a link worth of adjustment, or at the very least small links on your watch so that you don't have to remove increments this freaking big. Either way, regardless, Tudor made a bunch of decisions that ended up meaning that this watch, although great, never quite fit me well. Right? It was always either too loose or too tight, depending on whether I added or removed the link. And there were so many ways they could have fixed that. They could have put in more adjustment here. They could have put in shorter links. They could have included a half link themselves. They could have done any number of a toolless quick adjust with a bit more range. They could have done so many things to do this right, but they chose not to. Ultimately, that's ugly as sin. And that's the biggest problem with this watch as far as I'm concerned, but nonetheless, it just never really fit me right. And then I did some looking around, and for the Tudor Black Bay, the 58, I believe, yeah, the Black Bay 58, as well as for the 41 millimeter, that is, Uncle Seiko, which is a company that doesn't just make stuff for Seiko, weirdly enough, but they made a half link, and I asked them, like, hey, you gonna do one for the 36? They said, yep, we're on it, and indeed they did. What they did is literally just this. This little piece in the middle here is a half link that fits the Tudor. That's all it is it is a link that is shorter than the other ones. This is a thing that most good watch brands will include by default, or at the very least will allow you to order, but Tudor apparently made the choice not to, and therefore Uncle Seiko has had to step in. The cost of this half link is $31, which is, I'm sorry, $30. I don't know where that one came from. Maybe they should have included one. Oh, wait, 29. Good Lord, look at me here. But nonetheless, it's $30 basically for one of these guys, and when I put it in, the watch fits. Right? And that makes sense, right? Because I've been able to go from a partial like fit where I'm having to remove this much, but now I'm able to actually use the granularity here and get myself to the level I need to be at. And so when I put this guy in, suddenly the watch was able to fit my wrist comfortably all day long. Sure, there were definitely times when the wrist swells, it gets a little tight, but you know what? At least it fits comfortably sometimes, whereas before it never quite fit right. So this is not a video so much to review this inert chunk of metal. It fits great. There's no problems with it, and it looks more or less indistinguishable from the stock one that Tudor should have included all along. Come on, Tudor. Really? But nonetheless, Uncle Seiko did a really nice job of creating a new one that fits this and that completely and totally fixed this problem. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm putting the word out there, right? If you have a Tudor that doesn't fit your wrist because they weren't trying too hard, then Uncle Seiko, I guess, has you back for this, or at least for some of the models. Looks like they've got the Jubilee bracelet. Oh no, they sell other bracelets for it, but at the very least they've got a half link for the Ranger and the Black Bay 36 here. So that's a beautiful thing, as well as for the 58. And a couple of other, they seem to do it for a couple of other brands too. So anyways, if you can't get your bracelet to fit, take a look around and see what this looks like. But really, this is something we need to be talking to the manufacturers about, because this is their damn job. And Uncle Seiko is just picking up the slack for them. But Uncle Seiko, hey, thank you very much for doing this. You can make the watch fit now. This is their logo, by the way. It's a nice little leather case here, EDC case. But good job. Keep this up. Keep picking up the slack where the big guys get lazy, and everybody else, may your watches fit, but if they don't, may something like this be available. Hope this has been interesting to you. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.